Hello, my name is Stephen Wright. I'm a career coach here at Career Mentor, and we help high-performing financial services professionals make their next smart career move. So we're 6 months into the year already. We're at the half-year point. How are your New Year's resolutions going? How are you feeling about all that you have achieved so far this year? And are you crystal clear about what you're going to achieve for the rest of the year, and are you excited about that? Well, we're at the half-year point, and so it seems like a good idea to give yourself a half-year appraisal on what you have achieved so far. And if your energy began to drop as I said this video is simply not about beating yourself up about all the stuff that you didn't get done. In fact, just the opposite. By the time you finish going through the process that I'm going to take you through, which will take less than an hour, you'll feel a massive sense of achievement, of gratitude, and you'll be crystal clear about exactly what you're going to achieve at the back end of this year, and importantly, why you want to do that. There are a number of steps, so let's go through them now. The first is to start off on a very positive note. And that is to acknowledge exactly what you have achieved this year so far. It's very easy for us to forget or for us to discount what we have achieved. And so let's bring them front of mind by putting them down on paper in front of us, and then allow ourselves to reflect on all the things that you have achieved so far this year. Once you've done that, then you can celebrate your achievements. Allow yourself to feel good. We all feel great when our team scores a goal or progresses to the next phase of the competition. And sometimes our feet leave the ground, our arms go above our heads, and we are smiling as we celebrate for another team. Well, allow yourself, even if it's a little bit goofy, allow yourself to celebrate yourself and your achievements so far this year. Having set ourselves up from that positive stance, we can now move on to understanding what lessons we have learned so far this year. Two kind of lessons, really. The first are, what are the things that we want to be able to repeat? What worked well, and what can I learn from that so that I can do same or similar in the second half of the year? Second thing is, what don't I want to repeat this year? What are the results that I didn't get, or why didn't things work out? And so what are the lessons I learned about things that didn't work? And those lessons are invaluable because they allow us to incrementally improve our game as we go forward. Now we can afford to focus on all the things that we haven't achieved so far this year. Now, there may be a number of reasons why we didn't achieve things that we set out to do. The first is that maybe we just weren't emotionally invested in that idea. It seemed like a great idea in the moment, but then we lost that emotional connection with getting that result done, and so it just didn't get done. Maybe it wasn't a priority. Maybe just in the things that needed to happen, that it lost its place in the priority list, and it just didn't get done because other things were more urgent or more important. Or maybe it was phrased, the result was phrased in such a way that it just seemed so overwhelming that you didn't even know where to begin, and it was too easy to push it away and to procrastinate on it, so it kind of just didn't happen. So understanding why something that you wanted to do didn't get done also provides us with pretty invaluable lessons. Now we can afford to look forward, and so I'm going to suggest that you spend no more than 5 minutes focusing on all the things that would be really great to get done in the second half of this year. Write down a full list of all those things, and once you've got that list, now reflect on that list and circle those things which are going to have the most impact on moving you forward and which are the most achievable. And those can become your priority results, your non-negotiables if you like. And once you've got those, now you can turn them into well-crafted, well-worded results. And we all know the acronym SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So you can create some really great results. Don't worry about the tyranny of how you're going to achieve those results just yet. That will come later. Just focus on getting those results done. Now what we can do is we can think about what you're not going to do. And this is just as important in many ways, because there are going to be things that you set out to do at the beginning of the year, and maybe you don't need to do them anymore. Maybe they're no longer a priority, or perhaps because you have limited capacity, you just haven't got the space and the headspace and the time space in order to do them. There's a couple of ways of doing that, and that is to think very carefully about what your priorities are, which I'm sure you do anyway, but also perhaps something that hasn't occurred, which is increasing your capacity, perhaps by hiring a virtual assistant, perhaps by delegating more tasks to other people. So increasing your capacity may allow you to achieve more of the things that you want to get done by year end. Now we come on to the emotional part of this video, which is where, having got those results, those smart results that we want to achieve by the year end, we need to evoke emotion around them and connect an emotion to the achievement of that result. That emotion can be evoked by answering questions, and those questions can be both positive and negative in order to create a motivation. So the positive questions would be things: how will I benefit from the achievement of this result? How will it impact beneficially on those members of my families and friends and my colleagues in the business? How are they going to positively benefit by me achieving this specific result? You can add in some pain as well into this by saying, what would be the impact if I didn't achieve this particular result? What we're doing is we're connecting emotion to the achievement of the result that is going to give you the passion and the energy to follow through. Next thing that we can do is to envision, and this is simply using techniques that peak performing athletes use, and that is that we create a picture in our mind of what it's going to look like when we actually do achieve the result itself. So we see ourselves achieving the result and then past the finishing line, and then we want to feel. So how will you feel once you've achieved that result? What will it look like once you've achieved that result? What will you say to yourself when you achieve that result? And perhaps what will others say about you once you've achieved that result? And what we're doing is we're using those modalities of vision, of hearing and feeling in order to make this picture, this envisionment more real and visceral. Next thing is we come now to the tyranny of how, where we sketch out our plan in order to achieve that particular result. The key thing I'd say here is to make it robust, because quite often the first actions that we take, or the first cut at our idea of the plan for the achievement result, may run into roadblocks. So it needs to have contingencies. If these things don't work out, what are the other ways in which I can achieve the result? There are multiple ways to get there. Let's start with what seems like the most sensible in the moment. And then if we run into difficulties, well then how else can we achieve the result? The final thing is that we're having this half-year appraisal, which means that it's taken us 6 months from the beginning of the year till now to check in. And I'm going to suggest that you might want to schedule into your diary some check-ins between now and year end. That can be every month, or it could be every 2 weeks, you choose. But in those check-ins, you want to re-envision the result. You want to feel the emotion attached to it. You want to re-engage, and if necessary, course correct, so that at each point, 2 weeks or every month or whatever it may be, you're reinvigorating the power of that result, the vision that you have, the emotion that you have attached to it, so that you've got a great chance of doing it. Now, I've written a blog about this, which I'll be putting into the comments below, so you'll be able to follow through, or follow what I've just said in that blog. If you found this useful, please do feel free to like it and perhaps share it for other people who might find it useful too. And of course, I welcome any comments that you might have. Maybe I've missed some stuff, maybe I didn't make myself clear on things. So please do make any comments you like, and thanks very much.